What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our ACC football channel.
As Willie found some answers for 2019, Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, talking Florida State football. We got Logan Robinson on the line from Knowles Game Day. Of course, don't forget to share these videos, like, comment, and subscribe if you love college football. Logan, how you doing tonight?
Good evening. Doing great. Just got home, had some dinner, and always ready to talk some football, that's for sure.
I know this is your first time on the show. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for letting me come on.
So Florida State, much to talk about here, obviously coming off 5-7. I kind of liken the Florida State situation to a certain extent with USC, two national brands that just appear to have way too much talent on the roster to win 5 games. But that's in the rearview mirror, and I've told many Florida State fans who comment to me on a regular basis, I'm going to stop reciting 5-7 over and over and over. We're on to 2019, and before we actually dive into what we saw on the field last Saturday and for the last 15 sessions, Logan, let's hit this recruiting front, because Willie gets past spring ball and dives right into it in terms of throwing offers all over the place at 4- and 5-star athletes.
Florida State is pushing hard, definitely, with Willie Taggart right now, and then he's got his new coaches, Randy Clement, and then also Kendall Briles, the new offensive coordinator. Florida State fans are happy about that. So they're definitely wanting to use these two guys to recruit some of the big positions, as the main one being offensive line. Florida State actually reached in the top 6 of a 5-star defensive end, Reggie Grimes. This was most recently this last couple of days, actually. And then Florida State is going after a 2020 blue chip offensive lineman, Jonathan Dennis. As we know, Florida State needs some offensive linemen. I know I will note later on in the show about Dante Lucas, who's already with Florida State early enroll. If they're able to aim for guys like Lucas with Jonathan Dennis, with that same mentality, then Florida State will do really well on the offensive line side moving forward. Florida State also extended an offer to 2020 tight end Blake Smith. That happened on Tuesday. He's out of Southlake, Carroll Heights, and Southlake, Texas. And then Florida State also brought out an offer to a guy from Canada. He's a tight end. His name is Theo Johnson, and he's a 4-star 2020 recruit. Right now, Florida State holds just mainly 2 tight ends, one of them actually being a player that switched positions, and Gabe Neighbors. But there's also Trey McKitty, which a lot of fans are hoping to see some upside from him this upcoming year. So tight end is somewhere where Florida State is going to make a push to. And then lastly, there's 2021 defensive end Tunmais Adeli. That's a hard name to say. But he comes from Tompkins High School in Katy, Texas. Defensive end is, a note to be taken with Brian Burns being gone. Florida State also will have Janarius Robinson and Kane Doe coming up this year, but a 2021 guy from Texas looking deep into the future. So, and as we know, 2020 QB commit Jeff Sims is probably the main recruiter for most of these guys. He's been pushing hard on Twitter. He had a pretty good 7-on-7 camp, I believe, which was in Tampa. He showed out with his team there. So Jeff Sims is somebody to keep an eye on as being your top dog, as a big recruiter for the Noles moving forward.
You get that Canadian tight end, which if you've got to go to Canada for talent, there's nothing wrong with that if they can play up there. But kid might pass out in the heat in August in Florida, not quite being used to that.
He might. The humidity is different.
We got Logan Robinson on the line from Knowles Game Day. Please join him and the rest of the staff right there for Florida State football coverage. And before we move on to 2019, what just happened over the past month in Tallahassee on the field, just in regards to broad perspective on recruiting during these 2 or 3 cycles that Willie Taggart's had his hand on, in regards to not specifics, but they've been roughly top 15 classes, but at the same time, a lot of misses. So you and the staff's thoughts about Willie Taggart's approach to recruiting and whether he's been successful thus far.
So far, the focus has definitely been on a little bit of offensive line and linebacker. That's what fans have complained about, and I'm sure the staff has too. There hasn't been much of a good product coming out of those two positions. He did land who's going to be his quarterback, number one, who we talked about with Jeff Sims. And he's got an offensive lineman, Dante Lucas, true freshman, who was an early enrollee that is already showing out, who's gained a lot of respect. So what he's bringing in, right now and in the future is what fans are happy to see. Florida State went through a rough class in 2018. A lot of those guys didn't produce from what fans and analysts thought they would. And the main problem is a lot of mentally challenges. And also we gotta think too, Willie Taggart's got to get his guys into this program in order to fit this offense and the whole team as a whole, but mainly offense. These guys were ready to run through Jimbo Fisher's offense, which is definitely a lot slower than Willie Taggart's. And the thing is, it's only going to get even quicker and quicker with Kendall Briles coming in, who's running plays in a matter of 15 seconds. So a lot of conditioning is going to have to go through these guys to fit in. And this is who he's going to start nailing on. Quick, speedy, and Florida State always delivers on the defensive side, mainly the defensive backs. And, that name of DBU reaches out far from the Florida State fan base. And Florida State continues to bring in guys, mainly like Akeem Dent, who's a true freshman, early enrolled. And then also a guy that I'm high on out of Madison County, Travis J., who I think is going to be a star at Florida State. So Florida State is always usually going to deliver on that defensive back side. So right now, it seems like everybody's kind of feeling nice with what Taggart's bringing in. They just got to see it excel and turn out on the field.
Thank you for watching this video. If you are an ACC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in ACC football, keep it right here.